ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ. Dear devotees, we were discussing regarding the nature of the self. If you remember the previous class, 2 weeks before we had, so we had discussed how the self is effulgent and it is very near to us, and at the same time it is very far also, etc. And it is the subject and not the object. It is with full of luminous and it is free from birth and death. It is immortal. All these things we discussed. Now, after knowing the nature of the self or nature of the Brahman, the obvious question can come for all of us: how to reach it then? How to experience it? How to have the realization of that self, that Atman or that Brahman can come naturally, the question for all of us. So if you remember, the author has taken the bow and arrow example or the simile for the explanation. So keeping that in the mind, we should enter the fourth shloka. Now, how to reach the Brahman, how to reach the Atman, or how can we experience it? What is the methodology involved? What should I do? How to reach it has been told in 4th and 5th verse. Let us try to understand. Pranavo danuhu sharohi atma brahmatal laksham uchyate. Apramattena vedhavyam sharavat tanmayo bhave. Pranavo danuhu. Om is the bow. Sharaha I atma. The soul or the self is the individual self is the arrow. Brahma tat laksham uchyate. Attaining the Brahman is what the goal, the target to be achieved. Apramattena vedhavyam. Apramattena. It is to be hit by an unerring man. Sharavat tanmayo bhavet. And one should become one with it, just like an arrow. Now, so the bow is the Om, arrow is the seeker, and the target is the Brahman. Then who is the shooter? Who is an archer here, if you ask? It has not been mentioned in the Upanishad directly, but it is understood that the individual self. The arrow and the archer, both are here, the individual self or oneself. Now, the bow is the Om. What is the intention here? So here, there is a Upanishadic weapon, spiritual weapon is been given by the Rishi for all of us. Now, to hit a target, we need an arrow, we need an instrument. To do something, we need instruments, isn't it? Now, the target is what? The Brahman. The goal or the target to be achieved, to be reached is what? The Brahman. The consciousness, the awareness, or the self. Okay. For that reaching, the bow and arrow example has been given. So the Upanishadic weapon, which is nothing but the spiritual practice or sadhana marga, we can say. So the Omkara is the Upanishadic weapon, spiritual weapon given by the Upanishad. Now bow is the base on which you hold an arrow and shoot it. So Om is the base on which you have to rely upon. So that's the reason Om is the bow here, on which you have to rest upon. Your arrow has to rest upon. Your mind has to rest upon. You have to rest upon. See, and Pranavaha Danuhu. Pranava is the bow, we have said. This Pranava itself, what is Pranava? We all know that Omkara is Pranava. The Sanskrit word is a beautiful word. Navaha. Navaha means name, that which reveals an object, that which helps us to understand an object. Navaha. Prakarsha rupena. When it adds because of sandhi, Sanskrit rules, it becomes na become na, and that's how it becomes pranava. Pranava means perfect name. Pranava means perfect name, it seems. Perfect name for what? Perfect name for God. Perfect name for the self. Perfect name for that absolute truth. Okay. So Pranava Dhanu. Pranava is the, or Omkara is the bow. And what is that Pranava means? It is Omkara, and the etymological meaning is perfect name. And the whole world has been emerged or created by this sound. We all know that sound. And that primordial sound is what? This Omkara, which is much scientific and rational also. So that is the first manifestation, we can say. The first manifestation of the Brahman is what? That sound, which is the primordial sound here, which is called Pranava. Okay. The bow is the Pranava on which one can rely upon, rest upon. Okay. What is the arrow here? The arrow, the Sharahi Atma. The arrow is what? The Jivatma, or an individual soul. How come it is? Bow means which we have rest upon, because we have to take the Omkara as a support for our sadhana, for our spiritual practice. From that angle, it has been told as a bow. Okay. How the Jivatma, individual self, oneself can become the arrow here, because he has to reach the target. Now, when I shot an arrow, who will reach the target? The arrow will reach the target, isn't it? So similarly, I am supposed to reach the target. Since I am supposed to reach the target, I am supposed to experience the self. I am supposed to remove the ignorance and experience that self-knowledge. So I am the target. I am the arrow also. And also, I mean, some commentators, they say that the mind can be the arrow here. So basically, based on Shankara Bhashya, we can take that the arrow is what? Oneself, the individual self. Okay. If the arrow is straight, if the arrow is bent, if the arrow is not sharp, what happens? If arrow is bent, it may not go and hit at the point. And if arrows, the front portion, if it is not sharp enough, if it is blunt, what happens? It may go and touches the target and it will fall off. It won't go and strike, or it won't go and pierce. So the arrow should be perfect, whatever the size and length and the weight, whatever it has to be there. If all them is there, then the arrow can go and hit it at right place in right way. So similarly, we have to prepare ourselves. So that's what it is called apramattena. Apramattena means what? One has to have the sharpened intellect, bright intellect, straightened intellect. Apramatta means undistracted, because pramatta means distraction. Pramattaha means distracted, noun. Pramatta is distraction, verb. Pramattaha, it is a noun, distracted. And apramattaha means undistracted, unoccupied mind. All of you have come to Mundaka Upanishad class. Before coming, you had some hard discussion or some debate with your friends or family people, or with your wife or husband or someone else. And with that occupied mind of that debate or whatever, you came to Mundaka Upanishad sincerely. You are listening to Mundaka Upanishad classes, no doubt. Whatever I'm speaking, the sound is going to your ears and it is reaching the mind, no doubt, but there is no process of information properly. After half an hour or 1 hour, if I ask, what did you hear? You may hear few sentences, you may say at the most, but you will be blank. You don't know what did you hear for 45 minutes. Why? Your mind was preoccupied with some things which already happened in this whole day. So we can come with a lot of preconceived ideas. Oh, let me see how Shantivratananda takes class. Let me see how deep he is, how good at its subject. People can come to examine us, no doubt. And we may come with preoccupied mind. I would like to sit and meditate, my mind is occupied with so many other things, then my meditation, in the meditation, whatever I'm supposed to do, I didn't do it. Physically, I'm sitting in the meditative posture, no doubt, but my mind is doing a world tour, which is the case for most of our cases. Why? Because mind is distracted. Mind is not concentrated. Mind is preoccupied with many other things. When mind is preoccupied with many other things, then it doesn't have any place for God. It doesn't have a place for self. So your apramatta means undistracted or not preoccupied, unpreoccupied. Means it is open, it is a concentrated mind, it is an open mind. When I come to hear Mundaka Upanishad class, I give complete attention to Mundaka Upanishad class and discussions so that I will try to understand Upanishad and I will try to put into practice. I would like to sit for meditation, practice meditation. Then I made preparations, body and mind I have prepared. And now, as much as possible, I try to meditate on God or on Omkar or whatever I'm supposed to. I don't think anything else. My goal is what? God realization. My goal is what? To become an engineer. My goal is what? To become a millionaire. Okay, let me spend my time, let me spend my body and mind and strength and everything to achieve that. Very few people, many people don't have goals at all, targets at all. Very few people have goals and targets. Even among them, very few people, they reach their targets, they reach their goals, they reach their desires. Why? Because they are concentrated in their efforts, they are less distracted, and they've got patience and perseverance. So this apramatta is a one simple word which gives lot of meaning, which has got deep meaning, and which guides us, which makes us to rethink about ourselves, how much we are prepared for this path, the sadhana marga, that spiritual practice, or to reach the God, or to reach the self, or to experience the self. So apramatta means unerring man. Unerring man means what? Whose mind is concentrated, or whose mind is not distracted, who is not preoccupied. So once we fix our goal, once we fix the path, then we should keep on going, not thinking anything else. This is the secret of success. If you remember Mahabharata story, Pancha Pandavas, 5 Pandavas and 100 Kauravas were made to stand in the big field. And one by one was called to take the bow and arrow. And they asked to fix. After fixing near to the tree, a distant tree, then Dronacharya asked one by one, what are you seeing? Oh, Guru, revered Guru, I'm seeing you. I'm seeing myself. I'm seeing my friends. Get out. I'm seeing you alone. Get out. I am seeing my friends, my brothers and myself. Get out. I am seeing the trees and I'm seeing the field. Get out. I am seeing trees and branches and whatnot. Get out. Arjuna was the only person who said, I am seeing the wooden bird and its eye. Then Dronacharya said, then shoot the arrow, he said. When Arjuna shot the arrow, it went and pierced the eyes of that wooden bird. Why? Because his mind was concentrated. That's where he became Dhanurdhara. He became one of the best archer. And that's why he was Maharati. Maharati means what? One who is capable of fighting with 10,000 people at a time. Only 18 Maharathis we come across in that whole Mahabharata war. Thousands of people were there, lakhs and crores. Among them, only 18 Maharathis were there who were capable of fighting with 10,000 people at a time. So they had so much skills. That skills, how they got it? By practice, by concentrated efforts, by persistence, and etc. etc. So if we have to tame our mind, if we have to progress in our spiritual life, if we have to excel in our life, either mundane life or spiritual life, we should have apramatta, means unerring mind. We should have a concentration. We should prepare our body and mind for the spiritual life or for anything. If you want to be a good athlete, you have to do something, and you should not do something. And you want to be, for an example, celebrity, you have to do something and you should not do something. So similarly, if you have to be spiritual personality and if you have to realize God, experience the self, for the do's and don'ts are there. understand it, and prepare it. Now we are practice karma yoga as much as possible, practice bhakti yoga as much as possible, practice meditation, practice gnana yoga as much as possible, and prepare oneself so that you can reach the target. What is the target? Tat laksham uchyate Brahma. Attaining the Brahman, reaching the Brahman, realizing the Brahman, or experiencing that awareness, experiencing that consciousness is the target to be achieved. Okay. Apramatena vedavyam. Vedavyam means you have to eat. Should be short. Here we have to hit. Okay. I am taking the bow and arrow. I'm hitting the. So I fixed to the target and I left the string. So the arrow goes and hit. So that is what Vedavyam. Okay. Now in the Omkara, when you take spiritual journey, what should be hit here? What should be short? Here, one should fix his mind on the Omkara and one should do japa or meditation of the Omkara. Pranava Upasana. In the traditional Advaitic Sampradayas, in many pontiffs, in traditional, especially you go to Uttarakhand, there's an north side, even many of the traditional Matadipatis, every day they do 10,000 Punascharana of Onkara. Onkara Japa alone is given. Of course, nowadays, many different pujas has come, many japas have come, and in Ramakrishna Mission also, we do Ishtamantra Japa and other things. But actually told from the Vedas, based on the Vedas, for a monk, only Pranava Japa, Pranava Upasana alone is told, nothing else. So, Onkara Japa and meditation on Onkara. So that is the sadhana paddhati, that is what the spiritual practice has been given by Upanishad for us. Oh, we have to experience Brahman, realizing Brahman has been told, but how to reach it, they have not told. Many times I have heard from people making such comments, that means they have not read Upanishads properly. Here, the Rishi is telling very clearly how to reach that by thinking Omkara, by doing japa, by repeating the Omkara, and by doing the meditation on Omkara. So here, Vedavyam, you have to hit, you have to shot the arrow. How? By meditating on the Omkara. Sharavat tanmayo bhavat. Sharavat means like a sharp arrow. Means here with all concentrated efforts. Tanmayaha bhavet. Tanmaya bhavet means may you merge into Brahman. Like just when the arrow goes and hits, it gets merged in that target immediately, isn't it? So when you are meditating on the Brahman, when you are doing the meditation on the Omkara or doing the japa and whatnot, by doing this, what happens? Tanmaye bhavat tatmaya bhavet. You may merge into that Brahman. So I will be becoming Brahman. So Brahman and I, Amasmi Brahma, I am that Brahman. I am saying that there is a duality, as if I and Brahman are two different things. So Tanmayo Bhavet or Tanmayaha Bhavet means what? You get merged in Brahman means what? There are no two things, only Brahman and Brahman alone exist. When the Ganga river goes and merges in the Ganga Sagar in the Bay of Bengal, then there is no Ganga and ocean or Ganga Sagar. There is only Sagar or there is only Samudra. There is only sea water. Similarly, Kaveri goes and merges with Arabian Sea. So Kaveri and Arabian Sea is not there. There is only Arabian Sea. So by doing a japa of Omkara, by doing meditation on the Omkara with a concentration, then what happens? I will merge myself into that Brahman. Means Brahman and Brahman alone exist. Here actually the ignorance is removed. The so-called ignorance, the duality is been removed. So here you can see very clearly. First and foremost, we are trying to meditate on the Omkara as a sadhana paddhati, as a relying upon. Then slowly, what are you going to get it? You will experience that goal to be attained, a target which is called Brahman. Then I will say that I have become Brahman. Even I cannot say that I will be experiencing actually. I will start with experiencing, then only experiencer stays. No experienced or experiencing. And maybe it is very difficult to cross, very difficult to understand. So one more example is being given, one more explanation is given in the 5th verse. Let us try to read or understand. Yasman Dyohu Prithvi cha antariksham otam mana saha pranaishcha sarvaihi tamevaikam janata atmanam anyavacho vimunchatam mrutaseisha setuhu. So what is Brahman and how to attain that? All these things has been told beautifully in this verse. Yasmin, in that, Yasmin means actually on whom. On whom means again the imperishable Brahman. On Brahman, on whom means on Brahman. Dyauhu, Dyau, you Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, Maharloka, you might have heard. So they here only that is told actually. Dyauhu means it is Swargaloka. Prithvi Loka is what? The earth, Cha Antariksham and Antariksha, in between the heaven and in between the earth, there is in between one Loka, there is one more word that is called Antariksham, in between space. Otam Manaha, and also Manaha, Saha, Pranashchaiva Sarvaihi, and 5 pranas, all these 5 pranas, Tam Eva Ekam, Janata, know that it is one without second. All of them are depending on the self, depending on the Brahman, and know that there is only one. All of them are depending on the existence. That is what Brahman. And what is the nature of that Brahman? You say, Tam eva ekam janata. Know it for certain. That is only one, not second, not 2, not 3, not 5, anything. There is only one. Atmanam, that is called Atman. Anyo vacho vimunchata, very important for all of us spiritual aspirants. Anya vacho vimunchata, give away all other talks, give away all other unnecessary thoughts. Vimunchata, amritasya esha setuhu, esha amritasya esha setuhu. This is the bridge to immortality. This is the way to attain immortality. This is the way to get the immortality. Now let us try to see in detail. Now the author is telling very clearly what to do and what not to do. What not to do? Give away all other ideas, give away all other rubbish talks, give away all other worldly talks. Yesterday one devotee phoned me. Swamiji, did you had your lunch? Yes. What did you had your lunch? I said, did you had your lunch? It is a courtesy. You have asked, that's fine. You did not ask what was the menu I took it. There is no need of it. Oh, sorry, Swamiji, that's how we ask people. I said, yes. When you meet people, friends and relatives, you do ask, what did you eat? What was the sambar? What was the vegetables? What was the curry? What were the vegetables you cooked? All these things you ask, no doubt. But at least you should learn when you speak with monks, you need not ask. Just courtesy sake, had your prasad enough? More than that, you need not ask the menu. Unnecessary talk. Swamiji, from which place you are? Where are your parents? Where is your house? Where is your hometown? What is necessary? When you meet people, you keep on asking, fine. But when you meet monks and mendicants and saints, I don't think it is necessary. So these are very unnecessary talks. Yesterday, I was on Swamiji, someone has shot the Trump. Okay, so Trump has been shot, no doubt. As a news, we are supposed to hear maybe what is happening in the world. You may give some time, 10, 15 minutes, and just hear the highlights, fine. But you know, to sit and see the whole half an hour, 1 hour or 2 hour discussions on who shot on the Trump's ear, why it happened, what it happened, what was whether it was democratic people or Republicans who was behind this. No, if you are in the America, you might be a bit disturbed, or if at all. Otherwise, why are you so much obsessed with which is not necessary? Like this, we can see in, day out, including ourselves, either me or you or people, unnecessarily, they're obsessed with so many things which is not at all relevant, and they keep on bothering about that. They keep on asking, they keep on inquiring and wasting the time, wasting the others' time and their time, wasting others' energy and their own energy. So, Anya vacho vimunchata. Whatever is not required, whatever is not essential for me and for you, that should be shunned away, that should be given up mercilessly. simply talking nonsense for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, sarate we say in Kannada, which is the greatest bane for our spiritual life. Unnecessary things, it should be left. Okay. Afterwards, what we should do? Tam eva ekam janata. In the world, if anything is to be fit to be known, to be experienced, there's only one. That is what? The self, or the Brahman, or the God. So you have to understand it, you have to reach it, you have to experience it. So how one can lead, how one should lead a life is being told very clearly. Spiritualizing everyday life, spiritualizing all our thoughts, spiritualizing all our actions. We keep on saying that. For all that, here is the answer. So self or the Brahman or the Atman or the consciousness or the God should be the center to be achieved. So all our actions, whole of our life should be concentrated towards it. I am living in the mundane world. I am working for a company because they are paying, which is necessary for my bread and butter. No doubt, do it. 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, fine. For that, whatever is necessary, I have to read, I have to update, I have to learn some other skills. Fine, do it, no doubt. Doing all that just for bread and butter is one thing. And doing all these things as a service to the God, where the God is residing all the human beings along with your relatives, your family people. So that same work can be converted into karma yoga. And that same work, whether you are cooking or whether washing or whether you are doing some computer work or whether you are doing research work, whether you are trying to find out some bugs and set all things, all these actions and the thoughts involved, everything is creating my life and creating my personality. So I have to be careful enough. So every thought, every work is creating my life, creating my thought, creating my personality, creating my good and bad results, karma phala, which is called adrushta and duradrushta. So we have to be careful about all these actions, and we should analyze ourselves. Is this action is necessary for me? Is this unnecessary? Is this thought is necessary? Is this unnecessary? So we should keep on discriminating, and whatever is most essential and whatever is necessary for us, only we should have it, and all other things should be shunned. So the rest of the time, we should keep our time, we should dedicate our time and mind and energy for spiritual practice. Oh, Swamiji, I would like to attend your classes, but I am busy. Swamiji, I want to meditate, but I don't have time. And especially we seen children, oh, today you have got exam. We ourselves will tell, unfortunately, many times in the house as parents, today you have got exam, leave away Sandhya Vandana. You need not to do Sandhya Vandana today. You need not to do prayer, give away because you have got exam. So I have go to for picnic today. I go to I have to travel. So morning upasana, morning puja or morning japa, I will not do. Okay, you are supposed to leave at 5 a.m. Why can't you get up little early, half an hour? And why don't you do Guru Devata Puja, whoever is doing? If you are doing Upasana, why don't you do that? Because which is most essential. I will traveling, we can sleep. If someone else is driving, I used to say. So we are doing everything and except spiritual practices. So the author is trying to tell, no, you are not supposed to do that. Okay, to take care of your life, mundane life, whatever is required, you work and earn money and earn house, wealth, shelter, all these things you do it, no doubt. But parallelly, you should also spend a good amount of time, either half an hour or 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever is possible of our contemplation, for Shastra Charcha, for scriptural studies, for japa, for meditation, for prayers, for selfless actions, for everything. We should spend, and slowly, slowly, we should keep on increasing, not decreasing. So that is what the author is telling from this particular sloka. No excuses for spiritual practice. No excuses for the path which takes for the self-realization. You have to understand. We work so much hard, and afterwards to relax, we see TV. To relax, we see movies. To relax, we chat with people. To relax, we go for the seminar, how to get relaxed, how to get de-stress or whatnot. Instead of that, cultivate good habits, healthy habits, japa, meditation, prayers, listening to good music, reading some good books. That itself can be relaxing things. Only one has to practice. Anyhow, now he is also giving Yasman on whom Devhu, the world, I mean the heaven, Prithvi, the earth, and the Antariksham, interspace. Basically, all the 14 worlds you can take. The universe. The universe is resting upon this. The universe is resting upon whom? Resting upon the self, resting upon the Brahman, resting on the consciousness. And Otam, it is very much in that. And Manahasaha, and including mind, and Pranas, Sarvaihi Pranaihischa. Cha Sarvaihi Pranay. When all the 5 pranas, all of them are resting on the Brahman. That means what? The whole universe, our physical body and our subtle body, everything is what? Resting on Brahman. Means from Brahman, everything has been emerged. Our Stula Sharira, our Karana Sharira, our Sukshma Sharira, and this Prapancha. That is universe, including all the 14 worlds, I used to say. Everything is resting on the consciousness or the Brahman. Means what? Brahman, everything has been emerged out. So that means what should we do? Slowly we should shift our focus from this Karya Prapancha to Karana Ishvara or to the God or Brahman. We are obsessed with the world. The world is very true for us. And everything we are seeing, we are trying to understand, etc. That is fine. At least now, while studying Upanishads, we should slowly shift our focus, shift our attention from this gross world to the, God, to the Brahman. Why? He is the creator. Okay? Then slowly, because he alone is there. Nothing else is there. We have to live in the world, no doubt. We have to work in the world, no doubt. But we should not stop there. We should not get only obsessed by all these materialistic things. So author is asking us to slowly travel further, go forward. Shift your focus from the world to the self, to the consciousness, to the God. Why? Because Paravidya is the medicine given for the sorrow. Now, allopathy medicines we take, it is good, no doubt, but it has got its own side effects also. Now, the best medicine has been given by the Rishi, author here. What is that? That is, the medicine is what called Paravidya. Paravidya means what? It is about the self, about the Brahman. So, having the understanding what is self, understanding what is consciousness, and trying to realize, trying to experience is the only way by which one can be happy at all times. One can be free from fear of death. One can be free from the cycle of birth and death, which is called samsara. So give a right place for everything in the life. We need world, we need objects, we need people, no doubt. They're all important, no doubt. So whatever important they are due, whatever due importance should be is there, you give it. More than that, don't give. That's what Vedanta is asking us actually. By denying means what? One is seeing the consciousness. The corollary is what? Everything has got some importance in the life, no doubt. So give that due importance, but not more than that. So tam eva eka janata. Know that it is one without second. The Brahman and Brahman alone is true, and that is only one without any second. Anyo vacho vimunchata. Give up all other talks which is unnecessary. Okay? Amrutasya yesha setuhum. This is the only bridge to attain immortality or freedom or emancipation. So Amrutasya yesha setuhum is the only way. So you can take Bhakti Marga, that is Bhakti, love towards God. And if you take as a predominant, as an important or primary sadhana paddhati, if someone has taken, someone of you take Karma Yoga is an important form. If you say, then unselfishness and detachment should be the very important thing which you have to practice. And if someone say that I am a rational mindset person, then I would like to practice Gnana Yoga because that suits me. If you think, yes, you can take it, then Shravana Manidhyasana you have to do. You have to keep on hearing that and you have to keep on contemplating. You have to keep on reflecting that. What is that? Asmi Brahma, or I am that Brahman. I am that Brahman. I am that Brahman. So basically here, universe is compared to a cloth actually. Now in a cloth, what happens? For example, you are seeing the cloth here. This cloth, what it has got? It is a cloth, saffron cloth. How this saffron cloth is made up of? The saffron cloth is made up of by threads, saffron color threads. The saffron color threads are so closely arranged. That's how the cloth has been made, isn't it? So the same example they have taken, and the whole world has been explained with this cloth example. Yes, mean on whom? On Karna Ishvara or on that Brahman, Dyauhu, the Yavan, Suvarloka, Om Bhuhu, Bhuva, Suvaha, Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bargo Devasya Dhime Diyo Yona Prachodayat. We all do that Gayatri mantra. Bhuloka, Bhuvaha, Suvaha. These three words. So your Devhu means Suvarloka. Then Prithvi means Bhuloka, that is the earth, and Devhu, the Yavan, and Antariksha, the interspace, Bhuvarloka. So all these are nothing but they are all resting upon the self. How? Just like the threads. When the threads are interwoven, the cloth is prepared. Similarly, the threads is what Brahman and the cloth is what the world. World includes our body, our mind, our sense organs, and all the 14 worlds. All thing is been included and it is described as cloth. And cloth is made up of threads. Now all these 14 words and our body, mind, prana, manas, buddhi, ahankara, and whatnot, everything manifested, unmanifested, which can be seen, which cannot be seen, all of them are has been made by the thread called Brahman. And all of them are arranged. Votam. Votam means it is woven. It is very tightly arranged. So Manasa with the mind, Pranacha, and all the 5 types of prana. Now, if you see one more philosophical understanding you have to know, first and foremost, initial philosophies when you discuss, you will come to know that the Brahman is beyond the world, is above the world, we say. Then afterwards, we say Brahman is in the world, we say. Then Brahman is in me, which is called self, we say. Brahman is beyond the world, we say, and Brahman is in the world, we say, Brahman is in me, we say. Then afterwards, we finally, we means the Advaita Vedantins, finally they ended Brahman and Brahman alone exists, nothing else. So this is how the philosophical speculation, philosophical understanding has been given step by step, step by step. So slowly for us, what we have to shift our focus from the world to the self, from the world to the Atman or Brahman. So, and also here one more corollary, if you deeply take this verse, you will be able to understand. So first, they explained how the world is appearing or how the world is formed. Cloth example, you can take cloth and threads. Okay. Now that means you are shifting your focus from the world to the self. Now, whatever you see, whenever you see anything, you try to see that consciousness or awareness of the self. Or self is manifested as cloth. Self is manifested as body. Self is appearing as water. Self is appearing as fire. Self is appearing as the universe. Self is appearing as a planet. Then afterwards, manaha and pranaiha. Pranaishcha. So, subtle body and physical body has been represented by these 2 words actually. Then slowly our attention is being drawn inside, and even the so-called body, mind, prana, intellect, ego, all these things are nothing but made up of what? Made up of consciousness. So first and foremost, we were seeing outside in the world, and it is all made up of Brahman, they said. Then we came to our own body, external body, with all the sense organs and etc. It is also made up of self, we said. Then we went inside, subtle body, our feeling, antakarna, that is also made up of self, we say. Then when we go again inside, then what we see only the Brahman and Brahman alone. Then afterwards, even that experiencer, experienced, and experiencing also goes away. And there will be only the experiencer. Now, after all these things, again, the author is giving one more wonderful understanding. Now, okay, the whole world is made up of Brahman, or Brahman is appearing as this world. Brahman is appearing as body and mind, fine. Now, where is Brahman? If you ask, everywhere it is there. But still, to make us clear, to make us understand, to start our practice, then what he's telling that Brahman is in your heart. So fix your mind on the heart, in the spiritual heart, where the Brahman is there, so that you'll be able to understand, you'll be able to experience. Once you start experiencing the Brahman in that spiritual heart, then slowly that experience can be extended, and you'll be able to see, or you'll be able to experience the Brahman in everything, in everyone, in everywhere. Ara iva ratanabo samhata yatra nadhyah sa yeshah antascharate bahuda jayamanaha. Omiti evam dhyayata atmanam swasti vah parayatamasah parastat. Within that heart, in which are fixed the nerves like the spokes on the hub of a chariot wheel, moves this aforesaid self by becoming multiformed. Meditate on the self, thus with the help of Om. May you be free from hindrances in going to the other shore beyond darkness. Now, wish you happy and safe travels, we all say. So the Upanishad is also wishing a happy bon voyage, actually. Swasti, Swasti, Vah Paraya. Oh, may you wish you a happy spiritual journey. So the Upanishads is conveying its happy wishes for our spiritual journey. And what is that spiritual journey? Ara iva ratanabhu sammata yatra nadhya. So he is taking an example of the cycle. Probably cycle. They have taken a chariot wheel. Chariot wheel also you can take. Sometimes it can be difficult for all of you. You can take any bicycle. In the cycle, if you see, we have got two wheels. If you take a one wheel, what happens? The wheel has got an outside rim. Okay, from the rim, spokes. So many spokes are there. All the spokes has been connected to one small, like a tube, like cylindrical small will be there. For that, the all spokes will be connected actually. If the rim is not there, spokes cannot exist. I mean, spokes cannot stay back. Or even in the between small cylindrical or pipe-like will be substance will be there, where from rim to that center point where the spokes gets connected, even that is also not possible, isn't it? So whatever that outside rim is there, it is like our body. Okay, and these spokes are our nerves actually, and that in between small cylindrical like shape tube is there where the spokes are connected. That is what considered as heart here. Now, the outside rim is the cycle. The cycle outside rim is what our body, and the spokes are nerves, and the in between, and there is a small tube-like thing where all the spokes are connected. That is what our spiritual heart. Now, so author is asking us, just like you can see all these things, our prana shakti, which starts from the Rudhaya or whatever consciousness, the seat of consciousness. From there, the consciousness through prana shakti, through nerves, it is working on our body. So this is called 72 lakh nerves. Around 100 nerves are important. 10,000 are secondary, nerves, secondary importance nerves, and all other rest of the nerves are tertiary nerves. They speak. So all these things, when we read Shankaracharya Bhashya, they go into but detail. I will not be going all that. So they have given example all these things and saying that the consciousness, which is the seat of the consciousness, is what the heart, spiritual heart, not the physical heart. There you try to fix your mind and meditate the Om. So even in our Upasana Paddhati, God is meditate, our Ishtadevata is meditate in the heart. Why? Because it has been told in the Vedas, it has been told in Upanishads. So the heart is the place where our consciousness springs, all our understanding springs. Even the brain is the temporary office for our consciousness, they say, even for the mind. The permanent place for the mind and for the consciousness is what the heart. Of course, present scientists may agree and may not agree, but the Upanishads view is very clear. The brain is the temporary office place only. The real residence for the consciousness and for the mind is what heart. That's the reason Swami Vivekananda says, if there's a conflict between a brain, if your brain and heart, follow your heart always, he says. Because heart is the place from which your consciousness and your mind, everything springs upon. So try to meditate on that Omkara, which is in our heart, spiritual heart. So basically it is a sadhana paddhati. So one should meditate on the self with the help of Omkara. So you can meditate on the Omkara, you can do the japa, and you can meditate that the self, the consciousness, which is the place. By that, what happens? May you be free from all types of hindrances in going to other shore beyond darkness. So by meditating on the Omkara, or by meditating on the self, which is residing in the spiritual heart, what happens? Then we will reach the other shore, which is beyond darkness. That is what, again, emancipation or freedom, self-realization. So Upanishad is telling happy bon voyage, happy spiritual journey for all of you. How to reach that? Meditate, meditate, meditate. On what? On that Omkara. Repeat the Omkara and meditate on that Omkara, through which you will be able to reach the other shore. That is what? Self-emancipation or freedom. May the Lord bless all of us so that we shall have a wonderful spiritual journey and we shall realize, we shall experience that God or the Brahman. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah. Any questions?
Swamiji, the first one was the example was the bow, and there also Omkara was the suggested technique, and in the end also, in the last one also, he's suggesting the same
Omkara.
technique, and in between verse, the verse 5 talked about focus.
Yes.
Right. So essentially, the all the three, when we take them together, it is really building focus and meditating on Omkara. Is that, can I summarize it that way? Is that what it is?
Yeah, 3 points. 3 points. The whole world, whatever your perceptible world, the universe, yourself, body, mind, everything has been come out from that self. First point. And to reach it with the concentrated mind, you have to practice Omkara or you have to meditate on Omkara. The second thing is, the third thing is, you should not be distracted. All your efforts should be as much as possible concentrated and give away unnecessary things. As a one more thing. Yeah. It can be summarized into these 3 things.
Yeah. And in the end, we're basically saying at the heart of the consciousness is where you should focus.
Yes. So many times we say Upanishads only they talk, it is only knowledge portion. They don't give any particular sadhana, particular way of to practice, they say. So, but it is not so. So here, like this, we can see very clearly how they are asking us to do even meditation and etc.
What is the optimum number of Omkaras, duration or number? How to, just to start with, how do we control things, the session?
No, you can start repeating the Omkara slowly or fast. Om, Om, Om. You can do Om, Om, like that. You can do one is japa. The other is Omkara. What is that Omkara? Omkara is A, Vu, Ma is the 3 states of existence. In Mandukya, it comes very detailed actually. And this Omkara is the combination of 3 sounds. A, U, U, Ma, M. These 3 letters represent 3 states of our existence. Waking state, deep sleep, and the dream state. Okay. And the Omkara represent the Turiya actually. So all this, and the Om is what? Nothing but it is the nature of the God or the nature of the self. So like that, the description of Omkara itself is very beautifully explained in some other places also. In Mundaka we see afterwards, and also in Mandukya also it is well explained. So we have to read or we have to hear from the known people regarding Omkara, and on that one can meditate. Each sound one can meditate, one can chant. Yes.
Can it be alternatively done, like Omkar for some time, chanting Omkara for some time, and then stop it and then try to meditate or focus or concentrate, and then again back to Omkara? Can it follow the life cycle like this, or it has to follow first Omkara, then meditate, like that strict
See,
discipline?
whatever your gurus has told for your spiritual practices, that there is no alternative, there is no option for you, that you have to do it. All these things can be as an extra techniques or extra spiritual practices. Yeah.
We are
Maharaj.
initiated in the path of bhakti, right? So these practices are not strictly as per bhakti. So that is why I'm asking this question to you. So
No, see, Omkara chanting is Om is what? It is what the Brahman or the God in Sri Ramakrishna, even you can take Ramakrishna, or Devi. All of them are what? It is the nature of Omkara, isn't it? Even in Om Reem Rutam, Swami Vivekananda has told very clearly. Who are you, Sri Ramakrishna? You are Om, Reem, Rutam. So you are Omkara, you are Reemkara, you are Rutam, cosmic law, isn't it? So we have got narrow understandings sometimes. We'll have a narrow understandings of Sri Ramakrishna or whatever. Anyhow, that's a different thing. So yeah, the person who is in a bhakti path also can take the Omkara as a meditation technique, no doubt. But if you feel it's difficult or might not be necessary, whatever the gurus has given the mantra and the spiritual technique or meditation technique has been given, that itself is enough. If you follow that itself is seriously and sincerely, that itself is enough to reach the target or to reach the goal. Yeah.
And just to understand, Swamiji, is of course I have not gone through a lot of the Upanishads. I've only read a few. Is this one of the unique places where a technique is so explicitly mentioned, or in every Upanishad there is this focus on a specific meditation technique? Because they're not saying it like meditation, right? They're just saying focus and
Yeah,
focus on the.
that's what it's a meditation only there. Of course.
Yeah.
See,
So the question
yeah,
is it a common thing in a lot of these Upanishads to mention to come to some technique,
yeah,
or this is?
definitely. There are see, every Upanishad doesn't have same technique. Each Upanishad may have different techniques. Yes, there are type of like this one is vichara, that is discrimination. Apart from that, even this type of meditation techniques are taught even actually. Even for an example, if you see this Taittiriya Upanishad, you might have read like Annam Brahmeti Vijanat. So think that Anna is a Parabrahma. Think that sky is a Parabrahma. Think that water is Parabrahma. So this we read like political thing and we read the meaning and we go away. But we have got evidences, historical evidences saying that in the olden days, the rishis used to meditate, thinking that food as a Brahman or the space as a Brahman, and they used to go further and in a spiritual progression. That is called Vidya. So a lot of Upanishad techniques are there. Some are explicitly we can understand here, but unfortunately, many of them, especially in Chandogya and all, so many Vidyas are there, which I mean, we have lost all of them. So when we hear that, we know by names, but we don't know how that has to be practiced actually. The Hara Vidya and like that. There's one beautiful book where 32 Vidyas has been discussed actually. He lists out 32 Vidyas, means 32 techniques one can reach the God like this.
Pranam Maharaj, can you just explain a bit elaborately how can we combine our Ishta mantra and the Ishta mantra japam and Onkara japam?
In Ishtamanta Japa itself, you will have Omkara, isn't it?
But there is the other remaining part also, no, Bij mantra and name of
That's
the.
enough. There also, because you are again concentrating yourself in the heart, thinking God in a what you say in a Saguna Rupa with a form and with attributes, and there itself Omkara is involved. That is enough there, I believe. Because the author is asking us to concentrate in the heart, that which you are doing already. And he is asking us to meditate on the Omkara, or meditate or do japa of that also you are doing it. Now this, what is Omkara? Probably if you listen to my Om Reem Rutam lecture, there I have discussed this Omkara much more detail. Probably you'll get it, how one can meditate on these things. When one can meditate on these words itself, whatever we have got the mantras, even one can meditate on the mantras. that if you hear one or two, first 2-3 lectures of my Omri Mrutam, not first lecture, of course, second and third lecture, I believe, there I have discussed all these things.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you.